Hi Aquarius, welcome to your April 2017 love reading. It's Raina here, and yeah, so now it's April that I'm doing. And what's happening in April love-wise? Well, the big one is Venus retrograde until mid-month, and it goes from Aries, I think around the 4th. It changes into Pisces. So with Aries, we're looking at your 3rd house going back into your 2nd house of earned income. So there may be issues surrounding your job and your money, and because Venus is the ruler of the 2nd house. So that might have to do with monetary stuff. But in the 3rd house, retrograding Venus can bring blasts from the past, old lovers, and meeting them on the internet. The internet is the 3rd house. Or meeting them in your local area even. So that's very interesting. Boy, I'm getting a lot of swords, just like I got for Pisces. Another swords. And your swords, that's your air element. The theme of your month of April is the Hierophant card. And I believe that Taurus got this as well. This is the sign of Taurus. But it can relate to matters involving marriage and other institutions. And because this is a love reading, I'll focus on the marriage angle. And, you know, is marriage something that you value? As an Aquarian, Aquarians tend to be very unconventional, and so marriage is a convention of society. However, in addition to being ruled by Uranus, you're also ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So you may have a conservative streak in you, and also you know, I guess it's kind of funny. Maybe it's considered radical to get married in 2017. Maybe it's not as commonplace anymore. So maybe it makes it more valuable to you because you want to do something different. Let me just keep going, and unless you're involved with a Taurus, that could also be what's happening. In the recent past, we have that soulmate card, the 6 of Cups, or a card that represents somebody from your childhood, somebody from maybe even your adolescence. And this person somehow came back in your life. I get this all the time. When I pick that card, people tell me their stories. So this is definitely happening, and of course the internet is a big reason why. And so because of this, you may be feeling nostalgic, reliving that period of time when life was much simpler. I know when I hear a song on the radio, that reminds me of my high school years, it's like you automatically are back there, and it's a good feeling. So what I see with the Hierophant card as the overall focus, and the 6 of Cups as the recent past, is that this contact is causing you to reevaluate a marriage. For some single people, that this could be about you thinking, this person, you know, is this the person I should get married? Or maybe you're thinking about their marriage and you're not sure if it's you don't want to break it up, or they are telling you they have to honor their marriage, or that they are in the process of getting divorced. I feel like right now, some of you may not be believing them. This is a card of a lurker on Facebook. This is what I would say. Because you can get a lot of information, even just by looking, and might be what you're doing. You might have hooked up with this person online, and now you may be kind of being a private eye online by looking at their information as much as you can garner and trying to see, because you're not sure. This is the card of the spy. This is you being aware or vigilant of the situation and not necessarily sure if you're being told all the truth of the situation. The higher message is the Ace of Swords. So it's saying that you are probably going through a new chapter in your life. And as an air sign, this is, your consciousness is going through a whole new period too. So the way that you are thinking is, and you're like, this makes me think that if you are still married, that you are done with an old idea. So maybe, you know, for those of you who valued a marriage, or that concept of marriage, you may be seeing that it has its limitations, and maybe you were holding on, either because you felt like that was the right thing to do, or because you're a fixed sign and you don't like change, or because you feel like you're loyal to this person. And yet it may be, you know, maybe you have some kind of conditioning. You know, it's right underneath that Hierophant card. Maybe it's religious conditioning that made you feel guilty about getting divorced, or made you feel like you are responsible for this other person getting divorced, or, you know, breaking up their family. And I definitely am one of those people that think that it's always a good thing to think of everyone involved and not just think about yourself. But on the other hand, if it's taken too far, some people are, I don't like to use the word brainwashed, but they really are indoctrinated with these ideas that may not be appropriate for you. Maybe they were at some time in history that we had to stay married because that was important for some kind of stability for our society. Maybe there was some reason why it was necessary. But now, with the, I'm getting that soulmate card over and over again. It's like we have elevated ourselves to the point where we no longer have to look at life in just a pragmatic way. It's just like, it's almost like too, our lifestyle. There was a time when people worked long, long hours, and now we have more leisure time. Should we feel guilty about that? So it's the same thing. You can have a relationship that's an enjoyable relationship, not a relationship of duty. Maybe this is like a sense of duty that you're supposed to be with this person for a specific reason, maybe because you have children with them. And yet you feel like you're not compatible, that you're almost strangers to one another. So it's like that kind of thing back and forth. And you know, that religious figure is really kind of... such a big part of your the values that you have formed, and yet the Ace of Swords is saying that you're forming your own values. You know, the Ace is like a beginnings. You're formulating your own philosophy on life. And it may differ from what, you know, your childhood philosophy. But it doesn't mean that it's immoral, you know. There's a difference between that. Now, the card that challenges you is represented by the Six of Swords. And this may be that you have trouble leaving the situation. Now, this would suggest, too, in some cases, because the Six of Swords is about leaving conflict, that some of you may even be in relationships where there is conflict. With all these Swords cards, I do think of like a lot of drama. And yet you still may not feel that you're comfortable leaving. In some cases, especially if you grew up in an environment that was full of conflict or drama, this may seem normal to you, and the idea, the goal behind the Six of Swords is to choose peace in your life. But some people have a hard time choosing peace because they don't value it. It wasn't something that they were familiar with. And so it's hard to choose it. Now, it's almost like choosing inertia or choosing an echo chamber. You may feel like you're choosing the void and you may not value peace. It's kind of like if you grew up in a noisy area and, you know, you move to, you know, the middle of nowhere and it's super quiet. It may feel weird. It may feel bad, even though you were in an environment that was too noisy. But you just, you know, it's normal for you. So what is coming in the near future, or in some cases this could be the advice, is the King of Swords. So this could be, to me, I see this as a legal person, a judge, or, you know, a head lawyer, somebody that you're consulting if you decide to get divorced. It could be that you that there's a person who is, maybe this is the Six of Cups person. This would be a mature individual. So they're going to be emotionally immature. I said immature. Emotionally mature. But this is a card associated with air energy. So it could be somebody who's a Gemini, a fellow Aquarian, or a Libran person. And the only thing about them is they may be so into their intellect that they could be out of touch with their emotions. But they could simply be emotionally mature and they don't allow their emotions to get the best of them. With a king, a lot of times you're getting somebody who is much more well-rounded, or, you know, in control of their whatever element they're dealing with. And this is the air and the intellect. So they are a master in that area. So that may be coming in for you. In some cases, you may be this person, and this allows you to make the best choices for yourself and not to feel, you know, that sense of like, I can't leave. Like you're, you know, and this happens to a lot of people. It's like you agonize, and then all of a sudden it kicks in, and then you're able to make that decision, and it's not even hard to do. It doesn't take anything out of you. And it's always great when you can get into that frame of mind. And then the outcome is the Ten of Wands. This can be that you are, in your personal life, let's say you're alone, you may have to work a lot. And this is like somebody who is really throwing themselves in their career. Sometimes it's like you have a lot of responsibilities. So I can see if you're like a single parent and you're like getting divorced, that would be the case. it just can be that you're in this transitional period and you have to guard against, because there's a lot going on. I think that it could be that your career is really heating up and you don't have the time to dwell on some of those things that have been going on in your private life. And that actually might be a blessing, even though with the Ten of Wands, sometimes the person is working too hard. But I think that, you know, as long as it's a short-term thing, that you're going to be, you know, doing very well for yourself. And, you know, being very busy and taking your mind off of anything that is going on. And in some cases, if you're still with your partner and you know, haven't left yet, and you're, you know, needing to have some money to be able to leave, you may be taking on more work so that you can save up money to leave. You know, there could be many interpretations to this card. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this, Aquarius. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great April. Bye.